So on the requirements, kinda physical requirements, must be able to use a variety of tools, hand tools, cleaning equipment, include floor buffer, but I see, mowing, weed eating, planting, spraying, there's a pretty intensive work. Are we gonna put like
Add more.
physical requirements on
I think it would be reasonable to add that they need to be able to lift 40 or 50 pounds.
Yep, I think he's talking about able to run a mower and weed eater and those types of equipment as
Right.
well.
So, and the only thing on here that kind of worries me about, I don't know what exact, it looks like we're looking for a jack of all trades, but install appliances and equipment, depending on what you're installing, that comes with a little more.
Yeah, do they need an electrical certification,
That-
some
that-
plumbing?
that-
And
That's what I'm
that's-
saying, it comes with a little more know-how than the average person would just know, so,
My
if,
thought process was if we got a new appliance for the community building, it'd be up to them to go pick up whatever cord they need to make sure it's operational.
What is the pay rate for this?
15 an hour was what I was going to propose.
Where would this payroll be coming from?
And that would be based on where they're working. So we would have a work study similar to what Michael and Lance do if they're working with Jim or at the cemetery or the community building or the ballpark. Then their salary would be based on, would be paid out of the general fund.
I'm with Dustin, I feel like we need to add more, where it says they may be able to use and add the mowing equipment that we would be asking them to utilize.
yeah, because hauling around a weed eater for several hours a day is
Strenuous.
not gonna be for the lighthearted.
Okay.
And then
But
maybe
it really
another
goes
line with
with
lift
maintenance,
so
though.
many pounds.
You're hiring somebody for a maintenance job, not a housekeeping, so it's a little bit different.
That's gonna be
I didn't
both.
hear what you said.
You're hiring somebody for a maintenance job, not housekeeping, so.
Well,
you're-
kind of it is, the very first thing says sweeping and,
Yeah, but it's maintenance, so there is
Yeah,
gonna be
it is-
some
it
heavier
is-
jobs.
I guess it does say grounds maintenance, so.
So maybe add in that lift,
yes.
lift up to 50 pounds or something to that.
Yeah, a weight restriction or limit.
If you're going to make a comment, you'll have to come up to the podium to do that. So you're welcome. Yes, come on up here if you had something to add. Please make sure that mic is on too, will you? Okay.
My question is, with all the duties that you're going to do, how about a full-timer? Can we afford that? But then you got the weed eating's only gonna be in the summertime.
We've discussed, we need another full-time person within the utility, so they will be doing the mowing and all of that full-time. This person is supposed to just fill in if we need them. So it basically, it's odds and ends type jobs is my understanding. So that's why.
I wasn't anticipating hiring somebody full-time to fill this particular position because there won't always be a lot to do. We've had a maintenance/housekeeping person in the past, and a couple days a week was about maximum that they could get it all done.
So
There
we're
were
just,
times like Christmas or Old Town days that they were busy, but.
Yeah,
and
the
we're
only-
just adding in the mowing and stuff because that's a seasonal position and it will be in the job description if needed, if that person is needed to utilize, okay.
Just in case, like sometimes Tim jumps in and mows for us. It would be like that kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's not their job all the time.
Just a question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I think we should move forward and try and advertise for this position with the corrections to the equipment.
Okay, Doreen has made the motion to go ahead and move forward with obtaining a facility and grounds maintenance job.
I'll second.
Christie has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Moving on. Discussion, board appoint for building code board. Did our attorney get back with us on that?
No, he said he was going to review it because he'd never heard of such a thing. And he did follow up with me and tell me he was still looking for it.
Okay, do you want us to?
I don't, I think you and I had discussed going ahead and moving forward with an appointment if you knew of any individuals that might be interested. I don't see why we couldn't go ahead and move forward with that pending the ordinance.
Okay. So basically, when the guy was here talking, he said that maybe having somebody on the council on this board, some people who build in town right now, and some business owners, is that what the council remembers? Is the council, I'm sorry,
That's the way I understand it, yes. That's what he said.
is anybody on this council wanting to be on this building board, building code board? Don't everybody get excited.
He did indicate that the one that he is familiar with in Sir Coxey meets once a month. It's not a, and once they're established, I don't think there would be a necessity for it to continue past the establishment of the code.
So basically what we're looking for is probably maybe a 3-month commitment, once a month, to, you get together, you say, okay, these are the codes we're looking at, because we have a skeleton, bare bones thing from a different town. Look these over, come back the next month, let's discuss these, do your discussion, maybe the last month you vote on it and bring it to the council. Does that sound? Yeah.
Nose goes. Sorry, bro.
And not be enticed.
And how do we get the members of the council? I mean,
I mean, the members
For the board.
the members of the board.
You have to ask them.
We just gonna advertise that and say anybody that wants to be on this?
I would be very specific personally, because you want to make sure that who you put on that board has knowledge, is not doing things in their best interest, they're doing it in the city's best interest as citizens as a whole. You know what I mean? Like, I know contractors that don't want building codes at all because they don't want to have to follow the rules. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's red tape they don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
We're not required to notice that up to see if anybody wants to apply. And typically, the mayor would appoint. and
So
then
this is gonna be more of a targeted.
That's, I mean, we could put it out there and see who's
No,
interested.
no, no,
Maybe if we overlook somebody that might have,
If we know of some people that might fit that, then
What are your thoughts on having a realtor on that board as well?
nothing wrong with that.
I think that would be something.
So, I'm trying to look at our, I have kind of a list of people that I was thinking might be good. I was kind of waiting to see who wanted to kind of chair that, to get that going, and then they could actually reach out to the people to say, this is when it's good for me, is what I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think we're gonna have to think about it.
We're gonna have to wrestle for it.
okay, I was gonna say, well, I know Christie's pretty, I mean, she's got a lot, do what?
We could postpone it and
We
Yeah,
got a lot going on.
think about it.
we could postpone it, yeah. You guys wanna postpone it to the next meeting?
yeah, let's think about that.
How about we postpone the meeting and come back with a few people that we would consider putting on this board as well?
Sure.
And then if we want to work with them, we'll volunteer.
Okay, I would entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to postpone this to our next meeting, which will be determined after another
New business.
thing on our business.
Okay, Doreen has made the motion to postpone the appointment for the building code board to the next meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Bobby has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Bid for fence for the maintenance barn.
Jim reached out to 2 fencing companies. He received a bid back from one of them. The amount of the bid is outside what is allowable to solicit a bid, so we would need to post that or notice that up for bids. So with the board's permission, and this is for the fence around the maintenance barn to allow for recycle.
What was the bids that he received? You can't say? Okay. Oh, of course not, because you're going to open it for bid. Okay, so we're postponing this as well?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
you need a
no, we
motion
need to
to
make-
solicit the bids if,
Yeah.
To notice, yeah, I need to notice it up for sealed bids.
yeah.
Okay, so I make a motion that we put up notices for bids on the fence for the maintenance barn.
Second.
Dustin has made the motion to go ahead and put up bids for or sealed bids for the fence around the maintenance barn. Christie has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Okey-dokey. New business, bills to pay and balances on hand. I believe there's some questions.
I also tried to fix that.
It's beautiful.
Better. Okay.
First thing I noticed.
Okay.
It made my eyes happy.
Poor Gabe, he begged for that for years. Yeah, he did.
It was wearing me out.
I believe Doreen was asking earlier about the Consolidated Pipe and Supply Company parts where it has all the brass couplings and the repair clamps. That would be for Jim's department, correct? For gas, since it's brass, or
It could be for water too.
could be the water?
Yep.
Okay.
And Lana, I don't know if you know the answer on the fire hose upgrade. Is that, and Tim would probably be the right guy to ask it, but is that all the hoses? So all the hoses got upgraded?
I believe so.
Is that due to an inspection, or is that a life cycle replacement, or?
I believe it was a life cycle replacement, and they budgeted to allow for it, and then East Newton Fire Protection District will also purchase some, so we should have all new hoses now within the whole department.
Any idea how often that's got to be done?
I can't remember. I remember Eric, I think Lance talked about it, but I wasn't for sure on the time frame on it.
I mean, are we talking 2, 5, 10?
I might actually have that.
Like how long?
I think more like 10 or 20
Years?
year lifespan.
Okay.
Yeah. Lifespan, do they have those on there?
So the Granby Telephone Company, all that totals almost $750. And then the Verizon bill is $625. What all are we getting for that money?
Do you want me to break down Granby Telephone and then Verizon?
Yeah.
How do you, okay. So Granby Telephone is all of the landlines plus our equipment lease, and our internet. Then Verizon would be department heads and pocket Wi-Fi devices.
And who all has those mobile phones?
Each of the department heads, Lance and Michael each have one because they receive alerts for the sewer plant on their cell phones for that. There's a special thing that they have to use. Anybody else? Just department heads and then Lance and Michael.
So 6 phones?
I think 7. Carrie's. And then,
Why does Carrie, she's not department head?
she's the city clerk. So when I took the city administrator, she became city clerk, and that was agreed upon. When we appointed her to that position. So 7.
Is that phone here now, though?
And, no, it's still with her. So is that the recommendation when somebody goes on vacation or takes sick leave, that they leave their phone behind?
Do they plan to be on call?
I take phone calls all the time, all day long. Sometimes well into the night, and so even when I'm on vacation or when I'm homesick.
But for being on a medical leave, that
Extended medical leave.
would be utilized to our person that's taking over those duties. So that phone wouldn't be going to somebody that can't answer, or, you know, because if that's a number that's out there, then people would be calling it. So she shouldn't be bothered by having a phone that she's responsible for, and somebody at the city should be answering that phone. So yes, it needs to be here.
Hold on. She still works for us and we do contact her. So she is still part of our team, and I'm not sure that taking her phone is an appropriate move right now at this point.
I understand if it was a week or two, but I mean, that's not what we're talking about.
She still retains her position here as the city
Right.
clerk.
But if
Sandra
that
is a
number is
deputy.
out for anybody to call, why would we bother somebody that's,
The number is not posted number out on the internet or something. It is a number that we utilize within our team, correct?
I think she probably would opt to pay it herself as opposed to leaving it behind. It is her only cell phone, as is mine, as is Jen's.
Right.
I mean,
So that's how we contact her.
so it's a personal phone call as well?
absolutely.
They don't have 2 phones they carry around. They have
Nobody
one
does.
phone that they carry.
Nobody does.
All department heads have one phone. I mean, if the council wants to vote to have her bring it back, they can. I don't believe that that's an appropriate move to do to our team member.
Like I said, I think she would probably opt to pay the bill herself as opposed to that.
Are you able to call her when you have questions?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And when she was in the hospital, even, I reached out to her a couple different times with a question. I texted her and called her.
So she is using it for city business also, still, even though she's basically on sick leave right now? Okay.
She has knowledge that sometimes others do not have, so.
She has a lot of knowledge that we need. I mean, when you can reach out and ask questions, when you need to have the answers, I feel like she should keep her phone.
On the Quill Corporation, did we just restock everything, because that's $1,100 for the month?
Ink is the majority of that. Our ink for the office, for the fire department, for the police department is very expensive. I think that's the majority of that expense.
Okay.
Jim had requested a new office chair. Maybe $150, is it on there? Yeah. Yeah, I would say the majority of that is ink. The toner cartridges are about $120 each.
Okay, and then last question and I'll quit. MFA oil for the diesel fuel, was that to refill a tank somewhere?
Yes, and that is, 2 months' worth. I missed the first one. And, but yes, that's for all of the departments, and they all split it and fill the big tank out here.
How many of our vehicles take diesel then?
Mostly the fire department, and then Chris is, and then Jim's,
Our sledge truck.
the sledge truck and the backhoe.
Okay. So we go through $1,600 a month in diesel?
I would say that's probably a good guess.
Well, it's 3,200 for 2 months.
Jamie, while she's looking that up, were you able to find the life cycle on those fire hoses specifically?
No, unfortunately, I requested that all of our fire, because of when, what was it, those air packs had expired and then we ended up buying those, I requested that we have all of our fire equipment written down, and I created this thing that has item, quantity, date purchase, life expectancy, and replacement costs. But for some reason, our water pumps, water hoses, portable water tanks, none of it was filled out, so.
Okay.
But the nozzles are a 15-year, so I just had it sitting on my desk. We're hoping to create a asset management plan that will help them foresee when this is needed, what, you know, are we saving that money throughout the years?
Yeah, and Lana, that's the reason I ask. I just wondered if, and I would ask Tim if he was there, I mean, if that's a life cycle replacement, and you answered it, you said they budgeted for it, which is good, but is all of their stuff on a life cycle management type of, you
I
know,
don't think so at this time. That's been the push.
so that it's staggered and doesn't all come at once, you know, type of deal?
Yeah, that's what we were trying to do and work with East Newton Fire Protection on that. And just to be clear, when they say they budgeted, that means he came in this year and said, hey, I'm gonna need to buy hoses this year, it needs to be put in this year's budget. So it's not like we planned it out for years.
And we had that
And
money
that's-
sitting in a bank,
and,
you know,
yeah.
in a pot somewhere.
So
We should.
that's exactly why I requested each thing to have life expectancy so that we could create a asset management plan. So I'm gonna have to send this back and ask for more information.
And Doreen, the average is $15.57 a month for diesel.
Okay.
Diesel's expensive.
Well, that's why it was 30,000, or 3,000 was a lot. Lana, did you not have a department head report?
I did not apologize. It will be in the next one. I started, I know. I started it. I just didn't get it completed.
Are we done with the bills?
I got
Oh,
one
sorry.
more. So,
Sorry.
so on the Reddings Mill Fire Protection District where we bought the truck,
Yes.
I noticed that we paid out the entire total amount that we authorized, and the bidding was supposed to start at 14. Anybody know how that went down, how we ended up paying the max?
I thought he requested to bid 19,000.
It was a sealed bid.
It was a
Oh,
sealed bid.
okay.
and
Oh,
we
sealed bid,
yeah.
okay, so you bid the full amount.
Okay. Any other questions on bills to pay, balances on hand? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the bills to pay balances on hand.
Okay, Bobby has moved to go ahead and approve the bills to pay and balances on hand.
Second.
Dustin has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Okay.
question on the dog pound report. It's showing that on the output, we returned 3 animals to their owner, but it's not showing that we collected anything. Did we not charge them to get them back? Did they not have to pay a fee?
Fine.
Yeah, fine.
I thought it was like $60.
I apologize, but Catherine's not here to ask, and I've asked those questions previously, but
Okay,
I will follow up.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I got a question on the fire departments. Well, 2 things. Receive the Newton County grant for a new skid unit. Is that to go in that new truck? That skid unit?
Yes, yes.
And so approved to, so is that 100% funded? Because I noticed it was like 90. Oh, we are.
It's on
Oh, my bad.
number 4.
My bad.
So it was supposed to be 100% funded, and he had the grant approval, but when he followed up, the price has increased. So that was what he was going to address the board about tonight. Let me just see what his approval was.
And the other question was, attended 2 East Newton High School football games with apparatus. Is that part of the East Newton Fire Protection District thing? Do we normally provide EMS coverage for football games?
We typically have a
The
showing.
EMS is there too, but they usually come to all the home games.
I think it's just to show support in the town.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a big part of it, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good idea. I think
Which is
so.
this?
It's
I
good
love
public
it.
relations.
They do their lights when they score. It's nice.
What does it say? Neosho, TAC
I've seen
meeting
it
with
there every
Friday.
day, so.
Oh, that's Lonnie's. Right? You attended the TAC meeting and you worked the Friday. That's your mileage. Okay. It just didn't say on whose mileage it is. The TAC meeting is the Transportation Advisory Committee in Neosho. Or did they meet in Joplin? They met in Neosho, right? At Harry S. Truman? Yeah. I saw that some of the flex cards are in there. Are you guys gonna start using those? Okay.
I have started using mine, and I believe Chief
Yeah.
Williams has started
We were borrowing
using his.
before and paying for it.
We need to distribute the rest of them with some instructions, and we're waiting on one additional card for the new Tahoe.
Okay.
Were there really only 6 gas line repairs this month?
Only?
That's what it says, just 6. I mean, we've had several. Are there,
Is that
are
water?
they
No, that's
Water's
fixing them, or we're not having issues with them?
Are you talking
You're
about
talking about
water
water?
or gas?
Water, 1, 6, and 1 gas, yeah.
And my question on the gas, were the people charged for the labor that went in to fix that? I mean, this is Hawkline Construction, they augured into it, did they not mark? And if we had to fix that, why were they not charged?
Unless it was mislocated, but I'm not for sure.
Okay,
We'll find out.
because we just went through
We
that.
get charged.
Yeah, we
We
get
miss-
charged.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we do. That may be something we need to look into on the ordinances. But no, they're supposed to be marking them every time they go, and Lance is really good about using that, Diamond Maps to do that. So I would imagine 6 would be their number.
So it said you gave somebody a tour of the wastewater construction progress. Can you give us an update?
Well, as far as the tour, it was USDA,
Yeah.
yeah, Cody Green, and he had a new person in the office working, so I just took them on a tour of all the progress out there. We're right around that, probably 75, 80% completed. They're just now starting to put in all the electrical lines, just kind of the nuts and bolts, pumps, motors, blowers. So just a lot
Do they
of
have
small
a,
parts.
do they have a completion date in mind?
I haven't heard one. I had heard Gene say something about May, but then I heard the contractor saying something about December, so
December of this year or next?
this year.
Okay.
They only had 480 days to
Yeah,
complete
which
it.
I think that puts it out to
Starting.
around May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Gene was just a lot for
So we're still moving forward.
oh, yeah.
Good.
It's-
We are also, got the grant for East Newton,
Yep, yep.
the East Newton wastewater protection, or wastewater project. We received a grant that said that $62,000 of the engineering,
62,500.
there you go, of the engineering fees will be paid for.
Yep,
It-
so on the engineering, they'll do a facility plan or a study with cost estimates for what it would cost to run a sewer line out to the East Newton High School.
Nice.
Yeah.
And give us an idea what it costs to maintain it, keep it going, pick a route, so,
Out of curiosity, since you mentioned the route,
yep.
are they gonna take input on where that route might go?
Yes, I'm sure they will. I mean, we're kind of pushing.
I mean,
certain
before they
ways to-
go doing all the engineering, drawing everything up,
Yeah,
I mean, we would
Have
appreciate,
a plan in place.
yep. So if you've got ideas.
having input on that.
Yep, definitely. We can let you know if we have meetings or whatever and step in and if you've got some.
I mean,
ideas.
because I think we're all on the same page with that, but we
Yes.
want it to be able to tie in as many
Future customers.
future customers or houses that
Yes.
we possibly could
And he
allow to
understands
link
that too.
into it.
Yes. And I think DNR, that, they have that as a goal too, is they want to see as many people served by wastewater facility, not just septic
I mean, because
system.
that's a golden opportunity right there.
Yes. Yep. So we'll keep you informed on meetings or proposed routes.
Have we heard back on the grant for the water? Because October is the month from Bree.
I submitted something on Monday from Bree and DNR. I don't recall what it was. I mean, if you don't mind, I'm gonna run and go look and see what that was.
Okay.
It was paperwork I had been waiting on.
We're also in the middle of finishing up that lead line surveys. Customers will be getting letters. Any of them that had galvanized will be getting letters. I think Sandra mailed out the first bunch today. There's massive amounts, so it's going to take a while to get them all out. So.
So are we gonna push those briefs from the chiefs to the next meeting since they're not here?
We can, if you guys want to vote to push the number 4 off, we could. But we'll wait, I mean, are you talking about department head report part? Is that,
The grant awards.
yeah, we can
I
move
make a
those.
motion that we approve the department head reports as submitted.
Okay, Doreen has made the motion to go ahead and accept those department head reports as submitted.
Second.
Dustin has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. All right, we're going to discuss changing some city council dates. There are several people who are going to be absent for the second one for October. And then we have holidays coming up for November and December, as well as rough weather sometimes. So, council, I think it was mentioned November 7th. If we move it, that way it's not it's like no more in October, and then we do a November 7th, and then jump to December.
No, I think the 21st as well of November.
Okay.
I'll be
That's-
unavailable on the
that's-
7th.
You'll be unavailable on November 7th?
Yes, I will.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, okay, so let's get Lana back in here too. Christy, Dustin,
I'll go
The 31st is Halloween. There's a majority of us out on the week of the 21st, so it just can't happen that week. We can't do it the next week. I mean, that's Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. Sorry.
If Bobby's the only one out, though, we can still proceed.
Would you be okay with us moving forward on the 7th? That'd be okay? Okay. So we could change that to November 7th, and then 21st, was there an issue with the 21st? Sandra, are you available on changing those since you're our lady over there? Deputy. Clerk.
Lana, were we gonna do 2 meetings in November, the 7th and 21st?
If we do the first and the third meeting, we can, I'm sorry, first and third Thursday.
Yeah.
The second and fourth Thursday won't work on either one of those.
Okay, so what we're looking at is November 7th, November 21st, and then what about December?
I will be on vacation the 26th. The 5th and the 19th, I would,
With the 5th
seems
and,
like December's always a busy month for
Mhm.
everybody.
yeah.
So December the 5th and December 19th for those meetings?
That would work for me.
Yeah.
Work for you, Christy?
Yeah,
Okay, so it looks like November 7th and November 21st, December 5th and December 19th. And then we go back to our normal schedule in January. Okay,
You have that, Sandra?
What? I wrote them down, yes, I
Okay.
got it.
So I make a motion that we adjust the dates for our council meetings due to upcoming holidays. October meeting for the 24th will be canceled. The next meeting's in November 7th and 21st, and December 5th and the 19th.
Second.
okay, Doreen has made the motion. Dustin has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Okay, so those will be shifted. Since Chief and both chiefs aren't here, we can either discuss it or we can give them the glory of coming back the next time. What do you guys think?
in the month.
In a month.
I think they both would be okay with just making the announcement, if they were recipients of those grants.
Okay, so let's see what we've got. Looks like Department of Public Safety has given us, is it 500?
Yes.
$500 to our law enforcement. No, that's not. That's for our fire.
Well,
what
Chief,
is-
Chief talked about his last meeting.
So Department of Public Safety is a public safety grant for the police department post.
Right. The
It's the 10.
10,000.
No, the 500 is from the Department of Public, that's for the dispatch part, yes. And then the other one is the 10,483,023, which was the safety grant. So one was from our dispatch.
And then Chief Murphy's was for the fire skid unit.
So the 10,000 is for uniforms, duty belts, ballistic vests, carriers, and duty weapons. So are we gonna start providing weapons for our men? Thank you. That's excellent. It's good to know. And then Chief Murphy made, this doesn't have an amount.
Oh, 8,000 is purchase price.
Purchase price of $8,135,
Oh, this one.
but,
There's a 96.90 one too.
so he's trying to decide which one to even purchase.
Well, they both are more than his grant award, and that's the unfortunate thing when you apply for the grant. They give you for the purchase price at that time, and the price has increased on that skid unit. I think he told me about $1,600. more than what his grant award was.
Can his budget absorb the extra cost?
He does have the funds for that. It would come out of his quarter-cent sales tax.
So what's on this, your price, that's what's left after the grant, is what we're looking at then? Because I don't see a 16, okay.
Do you know the actual amount of the grant?
Well, his grant amount was 8,000. He initially submitted the 8,000, but now the price of it is 96.
Oh, I see. That's what it is.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we didn't need a motion to approve that additional, we do? So I make a motion for us to authorize the additional $1,600-ish over and above the grant amount for the fire department to purchase a skid unit for $96.90.
Okay, Dustin has made the motion to go ahead and increase that 1,600-ish to the fire department to go ahead and purchase that 9,690 skid steer unit. I'm not skid steer, sorry, Firefeld skid unit with the addition of the grant money. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Christie has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Okay. And then shred event. Lana, can you fill us in?
I spoke with the department heads at our last department head meeting about moving documents from the old city hall here. And in that process, I would like to have a shred event. Our last one was in October 2018. Cost us approximately $500 to have a shred truck pull up to the back, and documents that are shredded, we do have to keep a ledger of what we shred, and it does have to be approved. The shred event has to be approved by ordinance. But with the board's permission, I'd like to move forward with that, so we can get documents moved. I don't need permission for that, but to get documents moved and then those excess documents shredded. And we do have a, I just went blank, schedule what we can and cannot shred.
Make a motion that we move forward with the shred event and get a date on the calendar.
Okay, Doreen has made the motion to go ahead and move forward with the shred event. Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh, Christie seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Okay, public comments. Do we have any public comments written down today? Okay, come on up, Cliff.
The other ones first.
Hmm?
You're creaking in the ball.
We have someone sign up, but they didn't give a reference other than criticisms.
Okay.
Which is
Sunday?
Sunday.
Sundry? Oh, okay, hold on. I got to start a timer here. Hold, give me
Okay.
1 second, Cliff. I'm sorry. Okay, there you go. We got you started.
And just see if we can get a little clarification. Obviously, we know I'll be out of a job soon. And at one point, I think I was talking with you and Lana, and I understood that I would be offered this 27 hours at my pay rate, doing something, and then later on you said it's probably going to be 20 hours. I guess what I do is the job you just posted, is that the one I'm going to have to apply for, or are you offering me a job somewhere besides that?
No, Cliff, when we sat down and we discussed it, the idea was, we talked about how we're going we're gonna have to move that recycle.
Yes.
Because that job is dependent upon a grant.
Oh, I understand
And it
that.
can't be sustainable. Okay, so when we sat down in Lana's office together, and Lana was there with us, the statement was made that we're gonna talk to the council, and we're gonna see if we can get a maintenance position created, and that you could apply for that position. We were hoping to get something more like a 27-hour if we could, because that was what you used to work, I believe, or something
Yes.
to that effect. It wasn't feasible for us to do that at a maintenance position, and that's why this job is being offered. I know I gave you a heads up, and I called you the other day, and I explained to you that the council, you know, they've talked back and forth in different ideas and whether we can afford it or not. We've looked at the budgets, and the budget won't sustain the 27. So that was not new news to you, because I did
No.
call you and talk to you.
I'm just was wanting to know, that I'm gonna have to apply for this one you were just talking about. It's a,
If you want,
Yeah.
but see, you stated to me that you didn't even want to apply for that, correct?
I
'cause
didn't
you-
intend to, that I thought I was willing to talk about anything. I'm just, I wasn't sure whether you already had something in mind for me that you were gonna offer, or if I need to apply for this one that you're gonna post. That's
This would be the only position. I mean,
Okay.
the only other
You would
position
need
we
to
have
apply.
open would be, Jim's department, right?
Full-time.
It would be absolutely full-time, and you'd have to run those weed
I'm
eaters
not
and
gonna work
mowers.
full-time.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
too lazy.
No, that's okay, but yeah, this is the only other position
Okay,
that,
that's
would
just
be
where I
the-
wanna make sure where
Yeah.
we're going.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Okay, thank you, Cliff. Okay, I have one other public comment sign up. Guys, I'm gonna be clear. I have a sign up here, and it states that whatever you're coming up here to discuss must be on the agenda. I can reread that if you'd like. I would like to be clear, the goals for this public meeting. First and foremost is the meeting of the city governing body for its purpose of transacting the business of the public agency. We provide a public comment time at the end of the meetings out of respect for everyone involved. Each person is offered a 3-minute time frame. They must follow these rules. The board requires public comment time to be focused only on agenda items listed during the meeting. I wish to remind the public that your input is valuable and will be taken into careful consideration. However, it is not a dialogue time. A meeting of a public board is not a meeting of the public. It is a meeting of a board that is held in the public. The purpose of the public comment period is for the board to receive input from its community members on relative and current issues. If you wish to share your concerns or commentary on past events, you may feel free to discuss that with us at City Hall. Feel free to call at 472-6556 or set up a meeting with a local alderman or email me personally. This statement that states sundry criticisms, that's not on my agenda. I would entertain a motion to be dismissed.
I make a motion that we dismiss.
Second.
Doreen has made a motion to dismiss. Christie has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. We're dismissing at exactly 6:57.